The Los Angeles Lakers, a team that unbelievably after a 2-10 start is now considered one of the favorites to win the NBA championship. And while much of the credit for the turnaround should rightfully go to LeBron James and Anthony Davis, it's the Lakers' much improved supporting cast that has been a big boost to this team. And perhaps the most important player in that group is good old Hillbilly Kobe, a player who's risen from a backup on a two-way contract to the third star for the Lakers. This is the incredible rise of Austin Reaves, because honestly, it's almost too crazy to believe. Our story begins where all great stories do, Newark, Arkansas, where Austin Reaves is something of a high school basketball legend. In his first ever year at Cedar Ridge High School, Reaves helped the Timberwolves win their first ever two-way state title in 2013 before repeating again in 2014. Other highlights from his high school career include dropping 73 points in a triple overtime win against Forest City and averaging 32.5 points, 8.8 rebounds, and 5.1 assists per game as a senior, en route to a 35-3 record and the 3A state title. In the state tournament his senior year, he actually upped his numbers, averaging an insane 43.3 points per game over 4 games. Despite putting up stellar stats and losing only 16 games in his 4-year high school career, Reaves was playing 3A basketball in Arkansas, hardly a hotbed of talent, and he went largely unrecruited. He was a 3-star prospect, and he only received offers from Arkansas State, South Dakota, and Wichita State. Despite both his parents playing collegiately at Arkansas State, Reaves went with Wichita State and the opportunity to play under Greg Marshall. But a combination of shoulder injuries and being stuck behind Landry Shamet in the rotation meant Reaves really didn't get that many opportunities his first 2 years in college. Although when given an opportunity, he showed flashes of the star he would one day become, like when he had a program record 7 3-pointers in the first half of a 90-71 win over Tulsa in 2018.
Austin Reaves did something I don't think I've ever seen, made 7 straight threes in the first half.
After 2 years as mostly a backup at Wichita, Reaves transferred to Oklahoma, and after sitting out a year, really began to make a name for himself. He redshirted his first year in Norman, and during his redshirt year, Reaves hit the weights hard, adding 20 pounds of muscle mass and coming into the 2019 season at his very best. He averaged 14.7 points, 5 rebounds, and 3 assists per game as a junior, including a 41-point outburst against TCU in their final game of the year, where Reaves rallied the Sooners from a 19-point deficit and hit the game-winning shot. As a senior, Reaves led the Sooners in scoring, rebounding, and assists, and even managed to get them a win in the NCAA tournament against Missouri. Although he still had a year of eligibility remaining, Reaves decided 5 years of college was enough, and he was going to try his luck in the NBA draft. Reaves went undrafted, but landed a 2-way contract with the Lakers less than a week later. Apparently, the Pistons were interested in drafting him with the 42nd overall pick, also on a 2-way contract, but the night before, the Lakers had made it clear to Reaves that if he went undrafted, they would sign him to a 2-way. With the option to pick between Detroit and LA, he chose the Lakers. This had to feel good for Reaves, who grew up as a Lakers fan. Apparently, his grandmother was a diehard Kobe fan, and a young Austin developed an affinity for the Black Mamba as well. Of course, he was now going to be teammates with LeBron James, which makes this meme that he actually posted in 2012 all the funnier in hindsight. Reaves made the most of his time with the Lakers Summer League team, averaging 7.5 points, 3.8 rebounds, and 2.1 assists per game, and even hitting a putback game winner to seal a victory over the Suns. Reaves' strong Summer League was rewarded less than 2 months later when his 2-way contract was converted to an official NBA contract. For his first year in the league, considering he was an undrafted rookie playing in a huge market next to 3 future Hall of Famers, he actually got a pretty decent amount of playing time. As the Lakers season rolled on and their old age and defensive problems became more and more noticeable, they started experimenting with different lineups, including giving a lot of their younger players more and more playing time, with Reaves being one of those younger players.
Who have we been talking about for the last 2 months? Stanley Johnson, Monk, and Reaves. Know why? Because they're young and they hustle.
From February 25th until the end of the season, he started in all but 3 of the games he played in, and throughout that time, he showed flashes of what was to come. There was his incredible game-winning 3 against the Mavericks, where he also 100% got fouled. His best performance, though, was the Lakers' last game of the year, when he posted a 31-point, 16-rebound, 10-assist triple-double in a road win against the Denver Nuggets. His most notable moment, though, was definitely when he and LeBron created one of the best NBA memes of recent times. This, along with the Hillbilly Kobe nickname,
Hillbilly Kobe is lit,
and his consistent effort even during a rough season for the Lakers, led to him becoming a big fan favorite. This season for Reaves, though, began a lot like last season. Early in the season, the Lakers were playing terribly. They were experimenting with their lineup seemingly every night just to find anything that would work, and Reaves kind of got lost in the shuffle. He was showing signs of improvement, but he still often found himself coming off the bench behind Dennis Schroeder, Lonnie Walker, and bafflingly, Patrick Beverley. He had some highlights early in the season. My personal personal favorite being a November game against the Pistons, where he ran into some women who were sitting courtside and then proceeded to ball out the rest of the game while Jordan Poole felt a disturbance in the force. But it was really after the Lakers roster shakeup at the trade deadline that Reaves really started to establish himself as the most important player of the Lakers supporting cast. Personally, I was always skeptical of Reaves because fans and media have a bad habit of overhyping Lakers role players. Kyle Kuzma comes to mind. Remember that? When Lakers fans were convinced that Kuzma, KCP, and a first could land them a superstar? I mean, I guess they weren't wrong. Even still, up to this point, Reaves was still kind of considered a gadget guy at best and a meme guy at worst. You know, the type of player who finishes in the top 10 of All-Star voting ahead of Anthony Edwards and Chris Paul despite only averaging 10 points per game. But it cannot be overstated just how important Reaves has been to the Lakers' recent success. With Russell Westbrook leaving at the trade deadline, Reaves stepped right into his role as the primary ball handler off the bench before eventually graduating to the starting lineup. He increased his output from 10.5 points and 2.1 assists per game before the All-Star break to 17.6 points and 5.5 assists per game after the All-Star break. And the highlights just get better and better. There was his 35.6 rebounds, 6 assists performance against the Orlando Magic, where he scored the Lakers' final 10 points to secure the win. Or there was his 28.6 assist performance to help the Lakers secure a pivotal late-season win on the road in Utah. But my personal favorite is when he hit a floater over former teammate Patrick Beverley and then proceeded to taunt him with the too small after Pat Bev had done the same to LeBron only a few days prior. He played so well that he even signed a shoe deal with Chinese brand Riggerer, and his first shoe, the AR1, is dropping in May of 2023. Reaves has just been everything the Lakers could want in a third star. He can play at the 1, the 2, or the 3. He's an excellent distributor. Seriously, this guy is one of the most underrated passers in the entire NBA. He's comfortable being the primary ball handler and running the offense. He can attack the rim. He can shoot threes. He's also bizarrely good at getting to the free throw line, averaging 6.3 attempts per game since the All-Star break. That's 20th best in the league and better than Kawhi, KD, De'Aaron Fox, James Harden, Donovan Mitchell, and even LeBron himself. But the most impressive thing about Reaves' recent play is that this guy just seems utterly unflappable. There is no bigger stage in the NBA than playing for the Los Angeles Lakers, and there is no more demanding NBA fan base than Laker Nation. Except maybe Warriors fans who don't know life pre-Stephen Curry. And the pressure of playing under the bright lights of Hollywood comes before you also factor in that he's playing next to one of the 2 greatest players of all time. A guy who has had plenty of teammates freeze up in big moments before. George Hill, J.R. Smith, Kyle Korver. Sorry. And yet, time and time again, Reaves has proven that he is more than comfortable playing on the big stage. Even in the playoffs, Reaves is showing no signs of slowing down, improving his averages post-All-Star break while shooting over 41% from 3. After he dropped 23 points, including 14 in the fourth quarter on 5 of 5 shooting in the Lakers' Game 1 win against the Grizzlies, LeBron just gushed about the guy, remarking how much he and the rest of the Lakers trust him. But aside from his recent play and his clutchness, what impresses me personally the most about this guy is his work ethic. Think about it. This is a guy who wasn't a freak athlete, wasn't recruited out of high school, had to transfer in college, went undrafted, and wasn't a consistent starter until like a month ago. At every point of his basketball career, he's faced adversity. He's never been the biggest, he's never been the fastest, he's never been the most skilled, and yet here he is, the secret weapon for a Lakers team with legitimate championship aspirations. He's gone from a meme player to a legitimate NBA starter who in free agency is likely to attract a pretty significant offer. Reaves has admitted in interviews that he wants to stay with the Lakers.
And I want to be a Laker. So, and hopefully we can get this done and I can stay there.
But also that he understands the NBA is a business. So, Lakers front office, you essentially already got the situation wrong once when you let Caruso walk for nothing in 2021. So here's your chance at a do-over. And it should be an easy choice because Austin Reaves has earned every penny of the contract he eventually gets. He's a player who's made the most of his abilities and year after year only gets better. Take notes, Ben Simmons. Hey, so you've reached the end of the video and this narration was actually written and voiced by Synthetic Sports. So if you want to hear more from me, consider checking out my channel in the link down in the description. Big thank you to Nonstop Sports for having me. I had a great time writing and recording this. Make sure you like this video and subscribe to Nonstop. They make some of the best sports content on YouTube, and hopefully I'll see some of you over on my channel in the near future.